Do you have the sign-in sheet? understood. Any people online? One. And Justin. So when they make a comment, can you just like write it down as fast as you can? And then obviously we can look back at the recording if we missed some of it, but.
Yes. I think it.
Yeah, that one just added on. Frank Tess.
Yeah.
All right. You ready, man?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Okay, good morning. My name is Sean Wooding. I'm the General Counsel for Indiana Department of Homeland Security. Today we're conducting a public hearing on the Fire Prevention Building Safety Commission's proposed rule governing the Indiana Electrical Code 2026 edition 675 IAC 17-1.9. For the record, we're in the Indiana Government Center South in Conference Room A, the atrium, and are streaming this hearing via Microsoft Teams. The stream of this hearing is also included as a live webcast on our webpage. Today's date is April 16th, 2026. The time is 9 a.m. We're going to discuss the commenting rules. There are people in person. So for anyone interested in accessing copies of the proposed rule, please consult the rulemaking docket for this rulemaking, which can be found on IDHS's webpage. Simply enter into the search bar in the top right corner of the page, LSA document 26-62. This will take you to the rulemaking docket, which contains the link to the official copy of the rule posted on the Indiana Register on March 11th, 2026. We request that anyone who wishes to offer comments, if you're in person, to please print your name on the sign-in sheet located at the front by Mary. If you can provide your contact information in order to allow any follow-up communications that may be desired by the department or the commission. If you're on Teams, please type your name and contact information into the Teams chat. Comments will be made in an orderly fashion to allow everyone present to make a comment, facts, and argument in a manner to avoid repetition. Those in person will comment first, and then those present on Teams will comment next. If you're on Teams, please remain muted until you're called upon to comment. If there are any written comments or other documents that you would like to be considered, please drop them off next to the sign-in sheet or send them through Teams prior to the close of this hearing. Or there's an email address you can send that stuff to as well. All comments will be fully considered by the department, who will then provide a written response to the comments received, which will be made publicly available on the rulemaking docket. And depending on the outcome of this hearing, there may be a second public hearing for additional comments on a final rule before a final rule may be adopted. No questions will be answered during this hearing, and then all questions and responses will be presented at a Fire Prevention Building Safety Commission meeting to come in the future. Thank you for being a part of the rulemaking process. Do we have anybody signed up for comment? Okay. So first we'll go Brian Bauman. I said that right.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Baldwin with the National Electrical Manufacturers Association, known more by our acronym NEMA. NEMA is here just to provide a testimony. We are in support of the majority of the work that was done by the Electrical Advisory Committee on their review of the 2023 NEC, even though we don't agree with all the amendments. It is beyond time that Indiana not be last in the country where they are in NEC code adoption. So we do look forward to potentially having the 2023 edition incorporated by reference in the state of Indiana. But what amendments we would like to potentially see reconsidered is AIC 17.1.9-23. This was the amendment to section 230.85 for emergency disconnects for first responders. I cover the code adoption activity in 17 states, Indiana being one of them. What I can say is the states that neighbor Indiana that have incorporated the 2023 NEC, they have all maintained that section of the code. What this section of the code does is it provides first responders a disconnect means on the outside of the dwelling unit to allow for the quick disconnection of the utility power to the structure if needed in case of fire or some other instance where removal of power is necessary. There was some discussion, I know, during the electrical, when the electrical advisory committee was meeting that there were quote unquote equipment shortages. This just is not the case anymore. We are well past the equipment shortages that we experienced coming out during COVID and coming out of COVID. So just ask that this amendment be reconsidered by the state for inclusion because it will improve safety for first responders if needed. Thank you.
John McCamish.
No charge for that. I'm John McCamish. I'm with Eaton, electrical manufacturer, and I too applaud Indiana's adoption of the 23 electrical code. There are so many technologies that have been introduced past the numerous code cycles that the residents of Indiana will be able to take advantage of, but also the inspecting authority will have a channel of enforcement to follow and guidance to follow as well. So that is a great step forward for the state of Indiana and its residents. So I echo the comments of the previous speaker. A few things I did want to bring to attention that while we do support the adoption of the advancement to the 23 code, and even in with the some additional advancement you've made into the 26 code in the area of swimming pools, all of those things are good things. In regards to a few items, however, there are some safety concerns that I would like to bring up. And in NEC section 210.8F, and that would be your 675 IAC 17-1.9.11. In regards to the expiration date of the HVAC exception for GFCI protection. The reason why this state and frankly other states have had concerns about this is for unwanted tripping events of the GFCI. However, even since the last time the electrical had a meeting on this, new technology has been developed that would alleviate these concerns. So I would strongly encourage you all to investigate what is now known as a high frequency GFCI device. These high frequency devices, although they are mentioned in the 26 code, they are, for all intents and purposes, a Class A GFCI. But one of the issues that have happened historically with HVAC systems is that because of their application of a variable frequency drive on the HVAC, they have put high frequency ground currents on the equipment grounding conductor. What a high frequency GFCI device does, it takes these higher frequencies into account so that to minimize unwanted tripping. As research has been done where you have at higher frequencies, in many cases, if the frequency is high enough, the human body doesn't even notice it or feel it at these lower, higher than 4 to 6 milliamps, but still safe currents. So strongly encourage for that investigation to take place because this technology has been in the works, has been worked on for 6 years, and is now finally this year coming to market. And I want to make sure that the residents of Indiana can take advantage of those safety concerns. Another another thing that I would like to speak about, and they're related to surge protection, and this would be in NEC 215.18, and that would relate to 675 IAC 17-1.9-16 and 17. Simply encourage the adoption of the model code. And surge events, a lot of people are only caused by lightning and things like that, but all kinds of events, utility switchovers, and even in surge events internal to the home can cause damage to electronic equipment. This is not just a protection of property angle, which is fully acceptable within the scope of the NEC, but this is also concerned with life safety as well. Many of the electronics that are in the home for your GFCI devices, your fire alarm systems, your single station and multi-station smoke alarms, all of those are electronics that depend upon that could depend upon surge devices for protection. And then echoing that would be in 230.67, NEC 230.67, which is also amendments that Indiana has processed for surge. And that would be 675 IAC 17-1.9-22. I also would encourage the adoption of the model code there for the same reasons that I mentioned earlier. Thanks again, and I also, once again, want to make it clear, I applaud the advancement into the 23 edition of the NEC.
Thank you. And then the last one on the list is Randy Gully.
Guy from Wayne Township Fire Department, which I was also sat on the committee, advisory committee. And I want to discuss in the electrical code section for Article 210.12, parentheses B. I'm discussing the fiscal analysis, which addresses the arc fault circuit interrupters with the current, this past 2026 legislative session. House Bill 1001 eliminated a prohibition on AFCIs in non-transient housing, which would be 1 and 2 family dwellings, apartments. So I'm just wanting to make it clear here that instead of there being a cost impact of $7,500,000 with the General Assembly's actions this year, to me, that becomes a $7,500,000 fiscal savings. Okay. I'd like me to take that into consideration.
Yes, thank you. So that was all we had signed up in person. Good. Okay. If there's anybody on Teams, it looks like several people have joined that would like to make a comment, please type your name in the chat and then we'll call it and you can give your comment. If not, we'll hold the meeting open for another 8 minutes. Okay. We have Dominic Todden.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So my name is Dominic Todden. I represent, I'm here on behalf of Carrier Global Corporation. I I wanted to make a comment on the sunset date of the exception for HVAC on the GFCI requirements, so section 210.8F of the NEC. It is true, and I made a code change proposal on this. It is true that we are making some progress, both the HVAC industry and the GFCI industry, but regarding the sunset date that is today in the 2026, 2023, 2026 NEC, which is September 1st, 2026, I can assure you that the new generation of GFCI will not be available at that date. So that's why my proposal was to remove the sunset date from this cycle, so to make an amendment to the NEC to remove the sunset date from this code edition. Maybe the products will be available in the coming years, hopefully, but they will not be available by September 1st, 2026, and they will not be widely available, commercially available for the electricians before, well, it would be up to the GFCI industry to tell, but not before, I would say, 1 or 2 years.
Okay, thank you. Could you please write your email address in the chat as well? That'd be great.
I will. Thank you.
Did you have any other comments?
No, my main comment was on 210.8F. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any others on the Teams meeting that would like to make a comment? If not, we'll hold the meeting open for another 5 minutes to see if anybody else jumps on.
If you are on a legal script, thank you.
Yes, so Carly Hopper, if you would like to make a comment, please do. Provide your email and phone number in the chat. Feel free to comment whenever you would like. Carly.
Thanks so much. Sorry, I think I had a mic issue there for a minute. Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to provide comments on the proposed rule to adopt the 2026 Indiana Electrical Code. I'm Carly Hopper, Governmental Affairs Director of Indiana Builders Association. We are a statewide trade association representing more than 2,500 residential builders, developers, remodelers, and building industry professionals in Indiana. We thank the members of the Fire Prevention and Building Safety Commission for establishing an advisory committee and for including a representative of the home building industry to aid in crafting the proposed rule. We are generally supportive of the proposed rule with the legislature's statutory preemption on the requirement to install AFCIs and appreciate the review committee's support of some of our proposed code changes that align the electrical code with the electrical requirements in the 2020 Indiana Residential Code. Again, thank you for the opportunity to provide comments on the proposed rule and for advancing building codes that increase safety, as well as that are practical, cost-conscious, and maintain housing affordability for Hoosier families.
Okay, thank you. It's now 9:21. I'm going to ask for one last call for any comments that anybody would like to make online. We haven't had anybody else come in person. I'm going to poll the room and make sure nobody else needs to make another comment.
Yeah.
Yes, you can get back up. So John Kamish.
Yes, John
McCamish, sorry.
was Eden. In regards to the concern about availability for a high frequency GFCI not being available by September, or even the idea that they would not be available for 1 or 2 years. We are currently on track to have product by that time, by September. But if there's any doubt to that, I think waiting a full code cycle would be a mistake. If there is a delay that wants to be proposed, do not make it 3 years. Why should the citizens of Indiana not have a safety device available for them for their homes? Why wait another 3 years when the product can be available much sooner? So the only delay that was previously proposed is waiting until the next code cycle. And given the history, we don't know when that will be. So I would strongly encourage, if a delay is desired, even though I don't think it is necessary, then a delay of a full code cycle is absolutely unneeded. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll give one last call for anybody on Teams that would like to make a comment. Give 2 minutes. Dominique, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to reply to the last intervention regarding the removing the sunset date for the GFCI requirement on HVAC. In theory, I would agree with what has been said, but as far as we don't have a date, I don't feel that we can ourselves fix a new sunset date after September 1st, 2026. It would be up to NFPA eventually to fix a date through a TIA, a tentative interim amendment to the NEC, but I don't think that anything is in process, is in the pipeline to do that. So that's why I suggested to simply delete this sunset date and wait until the next code cycle.
Okay, thank you, sir. We'll make one last call for comment. Does anybody need to comment in person? Okay, anybody on Teams need to make a final comment? Okay. Made a final request for comment. This hearing's been open for 25 minutes now, so we will close this hearing April 16th, 2026 at 9:25 a.m. for the Indiana Electrical Code 2026 edition. Thank you all for your attendance.